Commodities such as gold, silver, uranium tend to do really good during times of turmoil or during crisis. So in this video, we're going to be talking about those three, and I really want to be able to provide you guys with my own opinion as far as investing in these three, or also investing in gold related stocks or silver related stocks or uranium related stocks. So guys, if you would like to learn more about these three, please welcome to Chibind Brothers. My name is Joel, and please allow me to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, as it helps us with the YouTube algorithm to get our message to a wider audience. So guys, why do I invest in gold? Here's the thing, guys. I've been invested in gold for a really long time now. I think I started really investing in gold back in 2019. Back at the time, I was really learning a lot more about the gold market and the silver market. And one of the things that really made me super interested in this market is because, guys, I don't know if I've ever told you this on the channel, but I'm just gonna say it now. I'm a chemical engineer. I have a bachelor's of science in chemical engineering. So my first ever internship was at a gold mine down in Nevada. So I worked at a gold/silver mine in Nevada in 2018, and it was really fascinating for me as a chemical engineer to really be able to process, the mineral, the gold mineral, silver mineral, from basically, how people will say dirt, but we call a mineral, into an actual metal, right? So ever since then, I really became intrigued with gold and silver. And in 2019, I really started learning more about them. And, with my education, that's when I decided that it was about time for me to start investing myself, or to be invested into the market. So guys, at the time, one of the first things that I did was I started buying silver coins, because silver coins are pretty cheap. And that's really what I started doing at the time. But guys, just to make it really simple, here's the thing. What is the really reason, the number one reason why I buy these things? Guys, here's the thing. I believe in God myself and in the Bible. And I'm not here, this is not me trying to make you guys religious in any way. No, I respect everybody's doctrine, religious doctrine, whatever, or religious belief, should I say. But the thing is, even in the Bible, silver, gold have been used as money. And when we look back into history with the United States and the history of the world, not just the United States, but the history of the world in general, gold and silver had been used in the past as monetary value, right? They've been used in the monetary system, with, back in the days, the gold standard, which was basically a standard where the currencies were being backed by gold. And even before gold, the currencies were being backed by silver. So guys, what really gives gold, silver their value, right? And I'm really gonna keep this really simple, but here's the thing. The big thing that really give them the value is because of scarcity. Some of the same reasons that people talk about when we look at Bitcoin, when we look at some of the cryptocurrencies, right? It's scarcity. And, some people can make a case for, well, we can always find a new gold or silver mine. Guys, here's the thing. I'm a chemical engineer with a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. And right now I'm actually finishing up my master's in metallurgical engineering. So guys, this industry of mining, that is my sauce. That's what I do. I'm a researcher at the University of Utah right now. I'm doing a lot of research into, processing of rare earths, which are different type of metals. But guys, if we're talking gold, we're talking silver, we're talking mining in general, that is my area of expertise. That is my sauce. So I understand what is going on. And one of the big misconceptions that a lot of people don't understand is that just because you find a new mine doesn't mean, or, a new deposit, doesn't mean that deposit can be, exploited. Because the thing is, sometimes you can find a deposit that is really hard to get there because of the mining and how hard it is to actually get to the deposit. Or sometimes it may not be economically viable to process that, because you're not going to make money, you're just going to lose money. So there is so many factors that come into actually making, going from the actual mineral into producing the metal. That's really one of the things that really makes it really scarce. And that's why when you look at the production, the increase in production year over year, when we look at gold, we look at silver, it's really slow. So that's what really introduced the scarcity behind it. And then because it's really being used as a valuable material, because there is a lot of energy that goes into it. When you look at the life of processing of minerals, guys, it is a lot of manpower, a lot of energy that go into it, from the mining perspective into excavation and all that stuff. I'll leave that to mining engineers. I'm a I'm a process engineer, but anyway, so from that all the way to bringing the mineral or the ore into the processing plant, and in the processing plant it has to be concast, which is basically the process of breaking the minerals, right? It goes through concassers, it goes through different type of breaking. Sometimes it goes into these things that we call ball mills, and ball mills are basically just it's a mill that has a bunch of balls in there. It's spinning, and what it's doing is the rock that contains the mineral is being basically propulsed into space, and with the other rocks in the other balls, the steel balls that are inside there, they're basically going to crash into these minerals, and basically that's how these minerals are being grinded, basically being broken into very fine, very 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 fine powder. And usually these ball mills are also filled with water, so you get out a slurry, right, which is basically a powder with water, so you get out a slurry. And guys, so the entire manpower from there to the chemical processing to basically extracting these out of solution and all the way to producing the metal, there is a lot of value, a lot of energy that goes into it. Some of those things are some of the things that give these things value, from gold to silver to uranium. And guys, the other thing too is these have been used mostly, especially gold. Gold has really been used as mostly jewelry. In the jewelry industry, a lot of people wear gold rings, gold chains, and other gold stuff. So those are the things that give gold silver value. And silver is also kind of being used for the same thing, but silver is also used in a lot of industrial applications, right? Which is why a lot of people would say gold is the rich man currency and silver is the poor man currency. But guys, here's the thing. One of the big difference between silver and gold is, guys, silver silver is cheap, first of all, and there is actually more silver being produced versus gold. But one of the thing too is, guys, when you look at silver is really underperformed gold in a long time. But the thing too is, when silver moves, silver has a higher volatility than gold, and silver tend to outperform gold during bull markets. And guys, I'm telling you, when silver moves, the world moves. It shakes, and it shakes really strong. So guys, these are some of the reasons that really make me believe in these. But the other thing too, in times of turmoil, like right now, with the whole crisis that is going on in Europe between Russia and Ukraine, and we're seeing prices of gold commodities going straight up, prices of uranium going straight up, prices of silver, and a lot of stuff going up. One of the reasons behind that is supply chain. Because with a lot of the sanctions that are being imposed on Russia, and Russia is also imposing some sanctions on some of these countries, and what's going on is there is some difficulties as far as logistics, and we've already had supply chain issues for a while, and now we have this crisis that's adding another equation on top of that. So it's making things really hard, and that right there is a component into why the price is going up. The other thing too is also inflation, guys. We've seen inflation is crazy. We had the last inflation numbers, guys. It is insane. 7% inflation. It's insane. So all of those are basically playing into why we're seeing these prices going up. The other thing too, guys, with really inflation, is a lot of people use gold, silver as money, guys. And one thing, actually, I live in the state of Utah. Actually, in the state of Utah, gold and silver are considered legal tender. Basically, legal tender means they're considered money if you have a gold coin, which I will actually show you guys, because I have a silver coin. I have some silver coins right here. As you can see, this is a 20 ounce packet box of silver coins, and I have a bunch of silver coins here, and these are actually made by the United States Mint. And as you can see, this is a 1 ounce silver coin made by the United States Mint. And this silver coin right now is worth about $25, $26. So, and guys, in the state of Utah, these are considered legal tender. That means you can actually pay taxes and a lot of stuff with these coins. And so the other thing is a lot of people use them as a way of storing value, a way of keeping their money, because instead of keeping US dollars, because of inflation, it's losing its purchasing power. People will put their money in stuff like gold, silver to be able to maintain the purchasing power. So guys, these are some of the things that really give us the big why we're seeing these prices going up. And one of the big reasons that's also playing, and guys, I will go ahead and share my screen, is guys, first of all, here I have, this is the DXY. DXY is the US dollar currency index. Basically, it's showing the strength of the US dollar. And right now, as we can see, the US dollar has kind of been gaining a little bit more strength, as the DXY has been increasing, and right now we're sitting at about 98. So the next thing that I really want to show you guys is, guys, look at this chart. This is the world production of gold, and see who is the third biggest producer of gold: Russia. So guys, if Russia is getting sanctioned and Russia is the third biggest producer of gold, 281.5 tons, of gold produced in last year in 2021, guys, this right here means with the supply chain being disrupted, it's going to be hard for Russia to be able to pretty much ship their gold. And that right there is an issue, because when there is the demand is not meeting the supply, guess what happens? The price skyrockets. Let's look at silver, guys. Here's the same thing. We're looking at silver, and Russia is the third producer of silver in the world, 2,100 tons. Guys, these right here are issues that are coming up on top of issues that we already have. And this is why we're seeing the price go up. And also, one of the things is a lot of people are also scared of a potential war. And during times like that, nobody wants to have currency, because country like US currencies, like, fiat currencies like dollars, like euro, because what could happen is, these countries could decide to go into a war, and which is something that I do not wish for. But if they do, they may get to a point where they don't have enough money, and they just decide to just printing, and that crazy insane amount of printing, which is what happened in World War I and World War II. And with so much printing, is going to devalue the currency, and people don't want to hold fiat currencies. People rather hold things that have value: gold, silver. And the last thing, guys, is uranium. Guys, Russia is the 6th biggest producer of uranium in the world. So these right here are issues that are really going to affect the prices of these things, and that's why their prices have been going up. And guys, one thing with uranium, especially uranium, there is not that much uranium production going on into the world right now. And so with the small mines that are coming into production online, and then now we have a disruption as far as a big producer of uranium, that right there is going to create some stress into the market, and that right there is going to affect the price. So guys, I've been rambling for about 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the gold chart. So guys, as we're looking at the gold chart right here, you can see how gold has been basically recovering right now. And we're seeing the 50-day moving average in blue crossed above the 200-day moving average in red, and we're seeing the price is bullish. Guys, RSI is getting a little overbought, but guys, it can stay overbought for extended period of time, because right now we are on the day chart. And so when I go on the weekly chart, guys, look at this. Look at this. We're breaking above this resistance line right here, and we're going higher. And so far, my target price on gold is we are going to the previous all-time high at about $2,071, which was reached in August of 2020. And at the time, I remember, guys, I got in 2020 in so many gold stocks and I had options and stuff, and I rode it from down here all the way up here. And ever since up here, we've been into a downtrend, but then now we're going back up. Things are looking really good. Look at all this, RSI right here is getting overbought, but it can stay overbought for extended periods of time, guys. So the next thing is silver. Guys, silver right now is sitting at about $25.66. And as we can see, guys, silver here is also getting pretty is also appreciating in value. This is on the weekly chart, and we can see that we still have some wiggle room. So we're most likely going to go test this price at about $28, and then we're gonna go up all the way to the previous high that we reached in 2020 at about $30. But silver previous all-time high is all the way at $50. So guys, we are still trading at halfway its previous all-time high that was reached back in 2011, guys. So silver still has some more room to go, and silver is still very, very, very undervalued compared to gold. And here's how I usually measure how silver is undervalued compared to gold. You look at this thing that we call the gold to silver ratio. Basically, what is a gold to silver ratio? The gold to silver ratio is basically the ratio of the price of gold divided by silver. And right now we can tell that 1 ounce of gold with 1 ounce of gold, you can afford about 77 silver ounces of silver, right? 1 ounce of gold is worth about 77 ounces of silver. That's what this means. So guys, when we look back into history, right now we can tell that the gold to silver ratio is pretty high. In 2020, it reached the highest at about 126, during the craziness that was going on in 2020. During that time, we all know, with the cerveza sickness. But guys, in 2011, the lowest gold to silver ratio was about 31. But now the gold to silver ratio is about 76. Guys, that is double than what it was back then. And so I want to bring up a calculator, and I really want to be able to show you something. So guys, if I'm expecting that the gold silver ratio is going to about 30, that means every ounce of gold can afford you 30 ounces of silver. This is what it means. And let's just assume that the price of gold stays constant. So right now it's trading at 1970. Let's do 1970 divided by 31. That means silver is going to about $64. Guys, that is more than double than where we are trading right now. So guys, there is hope for, Haas going somewhere and Haas getting somewhere, and making really money as far as with gold and silver. And so let's get into, let's say, how can you buy these things? How can you get yourself exposed to these things? You can buy you can buy ETFs, you can buy stuff like that. Like for example, there's GLD. GLD is a gold ETF that basically tracks the performance of the gold price. Or there's also SLV, but I don't really recommend buying those because those have, some counterparty risk. If you are going to buy this, and this is not financial advice, guys, but I'm just saying, if you were going to buy this, I would say, probably start by buying gold coins and silver coins, and you can find this, by a local dealers sell these. And guys, don't buy numismatics, please. Just buy US Mint coins. Like these are American Eagles. The one that I just showed you, those are American Eagles. And so companies that I've invested in right now, I'm not invested in Newmont Mining, Newmont Corporation. This is actually my first internship in Nevada was with Newmont Mining. And right now you can see, guys, Newmont Mining is basically at its all-time high at about $74. And you can see how crazy the price has been going up. So when the prices of gold, silver go up, the prices of companies that produce them go up. And here's companies that I am personally invested in. This is Sandstorm Gold. Sandstorm Gold is a gold royalty company. What does royalty mean? Basically, they're not producers. What gold royalty company do is they basically have contracts with companies that produce them, so that these companies can provide them. They can buy the gold or the silver from there at a certain set price, and then they can take that and then resell it into the market at a higher price. So they have contract with these companies. So for example, Sandstorm would have a contract with Newmont Corporation because Newmont Corporation is a producer and Sandstorm is not a producer. And so the other company that I also own is BTG. BTG is also a gold company that I bought since in 2020. And one of the thing is BTG has one of the biggest operation is actually in I believe in Mali. And that's one of their best operating mines, and they have really good cash flow. They has really good cash flow, and as you can tell so far, BTG has been lagging. So I definitely have a really big position in BTG, and I am just waiting. I've been in here since 2020. I made some money. We went down, and I'm still holding, and we are going to be getting back up again. So if you want to buy, let's say, an ETF, this right here is Vanek Junior Gold Miners. This is a gold an ETF that has an index of junior gold miners. And when I say junior, these are companies that do not produce as much as, for example, Newmont. Newmont is a senior gold miner because it's a pretty big company and they produce, many tons. But these junior, they produce a lot more less. They're much smaller companies. But this right here is an index that tracks a bunch of junior gold companies. So this is one thing that you could also, instead of saying like, well, I don't want to take too much risk and get into one stock, you can buy an ETF that tracks multiple stocks within that sector. And this is for gold. There's also SILJ. Actually, guys, I own this SILJ. I have a pretty big position in SILJ. And SILJ is a silver junior miner ETF. Basically, it tracks baskets of multiple silver junior silver producers. And guys, we can see that this one also, it's been recovering, and I'm really expecting that with the price of gold and silver going up, we should be able to see more gains coming up here. And so far right now, silver is lagging a little bit compared to gold. And guys, I'm telling you, silver always does that. But the day silver wakes up, you will love it. Another company. I own this company. This is First Majestic. Guys, I really like First Majestic. First thing first, I like First Majestic CEO. I believe his name is Keith Neumeyer, great CEO. A bunch of videos on him and him doing a lot of interviews on YouTube that you can find. But Silver Majestic, I would say, is like the blue chip in silver production. And then, guys, let's talk about uranium. So this is a uranium stock, but before we go into the uranium stock, I want to look at the price of uranium, right? So guys, let me just go on the weekly. We can see here how uranium has basically been recovering, and ever since 2020, I got in uranium in 2020, and we went from about $24 all the way to $50 where we are right now. And so, guys, when we look back in retrospective, back in 2010, uranium was trading at 2009, 2010 was trading at about 80, and all the way back in 2007, uranium was trading at about almost $100, guys. So we are very, very undervalued as far as where the price of uranium was, 10, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So I'm really expecting the price to be going higher in this commodity. So this is uranium, and then the company that I'm invested in uranium is called Energy Fuels. Actually, Energy Fuels is a U.S. company that produces uranium. They produces vanadium. They also produce rare earth at their one of their mines, actually here in the state of Utah, where I live. One of their mines where they are also going to be producing rare earths. But as you can see here, guys, look at this pattern that's been going on in Energy Fuels for a while, where we see the price go up, retracts to the 50-day moving average. It goes up, retracts to the 50-day moving average, and now we're seeing it go up. Guys, look at volume down here. Look at this major bar in terms of volume that happened last week. And then RSI is also not overbought yet. We're good. We're getting overbought slowly. But guys, so this is pretty much what I've been doing, and this is what has been basically holding my ground lately with the market, with all the weakness that we're seeing in the crypto market, in the stock market, especially with tech companies. I own a bunch of these gold, silver, uranium companies, and I also own the coins, the silver coins, the gold coin. And that's really been saving my butt. And guys, I hope that I provided you with enough value in this video, and I hope that I taught you guys something new in this video. I know I may have some critics, some people don't like gold and silver. They will say this is for old people. Listen, guys, I invest in everything that I see value in. So if I see value here, I invest in here. I see value in crypto, I invest in there. I see value in other stocks and tech stocks, I invest there. Anything that can allow me to maintain my purchasing power and also increase my purchasing power, and I like it and I understand it, I will put my money in it. So I hope that I provided you enough value, and I'll see y'all in my next video on Sunday. Bye bye.